Welcome to Alchemist Camp, where we become better Elixir programmers by building things. This episode is a quick update to the last one, where we were working with Ecto and associations, and we upgraded the StatWatch app so that it doesn't need to use CSVs at all anymore. Some people asked about using insert all, and were wondering about how you would insert the stats one at a time into the database. So it's actually super simple. Let me just bump up the font size so everybody can see, and we'll go over it. So basically, let's first get to the state where we were last time at 16 minutes and 45 seconds in. So it was saved to DB, it was a stat object, and I was just about to add repo.insert. So this can just go straight into the database. So you just pass this to repo.insert, and it's already associated with a profile ID because we put that on it, and that's really all you have to do with it. Then in the run function, we don't need to be piping a list of all of the results from all of the profiles into a save all function. What we can do instead is, let me go back to how it was. Yeah, what we can do instead is just the same as we were doing with saving the CSVs. We're just doing it one profile at a time. So we get all the profiles from the repo, and then this comprehension loops over them, and for each profile we'll fetch the stats. Then we'll make sure that all the stats are integers, since all the fields in our schema are integers. I'll open that up really quick. So you can see the number of YouTube subscribers and videos and views and Twitter followers, Alexa rank, all those have to be integers. So we make sure they're integers, and then we save it to the database. And save to the database is literally just this schema, and then we put it into repo.insert. And that's all you have to do. So let's save this, and okay. I've left in this load profile, so that'll be kind of convenient. I will get rid of the stats for my own profile. So Alchemist is load profile Alchemist. I'll increase the size of that so you can see it. Okay, so right now there are some stats. I'm just going to get rid of all the stats. So stats equals l.stats. Then for stat in stats, do stat into the repo, which I've aliased. Repo delete. Okay. And our profile has no stats in it now. So we should be able to just run this run, and everyone will get some more stats. And here it is. And now we have 2. All right, so that's it. As you can see, it's a little bit easier to just do it one at a time. And even in terms of performance, it's kind of hard to say, to be honest. Yes, I think it would be faster to insert 50 profiles and their stats in one go than to do one at a time 50 times. But if you only have 50, it doesn't really matter. And if you had 50,000, then maybe there would be a problem loading 50,000 profiles and all their stats into memory and inserting them into the database. So I would say probably a streaming approach would make sense. That would be pretty easy to do. And more importantly, you have to just kind of see where things are starting to get slow, test it, benchmark it, and then find the bottlenecks and work on those. And it's going to depend on how much memory you have and what kind of database you have and all kinds of things. But more importantly, I think it's important to be honest about the fact that while lots of engineers kind of fantasize about performance and scalability, and honestly, I'm one of them too. That's part of why I like Elixir, although I had personal experience with some difficulties on that side with Rails apps. Most apps and most businesses never have that problem. In fact, it's the other way around. Like most apps and most businesses can't find enough users. It's not that they have such a flood of users they can't keep the app up. I mean, once in a while when that happens, like Twitter, it's noteworthy. But for every company like Twitter, there are probably 1,000 or 100,000 that worked very hard on making something performant and scalable and never had enough customers that it mattered, and you've never heard of them. So that's my 2 cents. Obviously, if you were an engineer at Pinterest and you're dealing with huge amounts of traffic and you've got to make things more performant, or say you're at Google and you just by making things 0.001% faster, that saves like millions of dollars, then obviously worry about performance. But if this is your own thing, then don't do that. Like in the context of a side project, it would be insane to do what I did yesterday, spending the time that I did on making it work with repo.insertAll. It would have made way more sense to just do this. In the context of a screencast, that's fine because everybody gets to see how insert all works and see what some of the surprises might be. But for solopreneurs or indie hackers or side project samurais, I'm not even sure if that's a thing, but for anyone in that camp, I would say don't even worry about performance. Just get the thing out there. And that's the end of the opinion section of this mini lesson update. If you've enjoyed this mini lesson update or any of the lessons on Alchemist Camp, by all means, please subscribe. Please tell your friends about it, share it, and build some cool stuff in Elixir. And if you do build some cool stuff, leave a note about it in the comments or Twitter. Until next time, code on.